My dear friends, tonight we gather to explore a profound truth that has the power to transform your life entirely. We are here to discuss how you can act like you have no comparison. But before we delve into this topic, I want you to understand that what I'm about to share with you is not mere theory or a simple motivational trick. It is a fundamental truth about the nature of your being, the essence of your identity, and the unlimited potential that resides within you. You see, when I say act like you have no comparison, I'm not suggesting you put on airs or pretend to be something you're not. No, I'm inviting you to recognize and embody the truth of who you really are. You are not just a physical body, not just a collection of memories and experiences. You are the very essence of creation itself, individualized as the unique being that you are. In the Bible we read that God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness." This is not speaking of a physical likeness, for God is not a physical being. It speaks of the creative power of imagination that each of us possesses. You are made in the image of God, the ultimate creator, and therefore you too are a creator. You are unique, incomparable, and possess within you the power to shape your reality. Now I know some of you might be thinking, but Neville, I've been told all my life to compare myself to others, to measure my success against theirs, to strive to be better than my peers. And to that I say, this is the great illusion that keeps you bound. Comparison is a trap, a snare that keeps you from recognizing and expressing your true. When you compare yourself to others, you are denying your own unique essence. You are saying, in effect, I am not enough as I am. I need to be like someone else to have value. But nothing could be further from the truth. You are not here to be a copy of anyone else. You are here to be the fullest, most authentic expression of yourself. Let me share with you a powerful truth. There is no one else in all of creation exactly like you. No one with your exact combination of talents, experiences, perspectives, and potential. You are utterly unique, a one-of-a-kind manifestation of the divine. How then can you compare yourself to anyone else? It would be like comparing an apple to a star. They are fundamentally different, each perfect in its own way. To act like you have no comparison means to fully embrace this truth. It means to live from the understanding that you are incomparable, not because you are better or worse than others, but because you are uniquely you. It means to express yourself fully, without fear of judgment or criticism, because you understand that your value comes not from how you measure up to others, but from the simple fact of your existence. Now, some of you might be wondering, but Neville, how do I do this? How do I act like I have no comparison when the world constantly pushes me to compare myself? And to that I say, it begins with a shift in consciousness. It starts with changing your inner conversation, with altering the assumptions you hold about yourself and your place in the world. You see, your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. The circumstances of your life, the way people treat you, the opportunities that come your way, all of these are outpicturings of your own consciousness. When you constantly compare yourself to others, when you feel less than or not good enough, you are creating a world that reflects these beliefs. But when you begin to act like you have no comparison, when you fully embrace your unique essence, you set in motion a new creation. You begin to attract experiences and opportunities that align with this new self-concept. The world has no choice but to conform to your new assumption about yourself. Let me give you a practical exercise to begin this shift. Tonight, before you go to sleep, I want you to imagine a scene that implies you're living from the state of having no comparison. Perhaps you see yourself confidently presenting your ideas, unafraid of judgment, or maybe you see yourself pursuing your passion without concern for what others might think. Make this scene as vivid as possible. Engage all your senses. Feel the confidence, the freedom, the joy of being fully, unapologetically you. Now here's the crucial part. As you imagine this scene, feel the naturalness of it. Don't see it as something far off in the future, but as your present reality. Feel the relief, the excitement, the peace that comes from fully embracing your unique self. Fall asleep in this consciousness, marinating in the feeling of being incomparable. This exercise is not mere visualization or positive thinking. It is an act of creation. Remember, your imagination is not a fantasy-producing faculty. It is the very substance of reality. What you imagine with feeling, with conviction, must objectify in your world. This is law. As you continue this practice, you'll begin to notice shifts in your outer world. You might find yourself speaking up more confidently in meetings. You might feel inspired to pursue that dream you've been putting off. You might notice people responding to you differently, recognizing and respecting your unique value. But here's where many people falter. They see these initial changes and then revert to their old patterns of thinking and behaving. They allow the old habit of comparison to creep back in. Remember, creation is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing process. You must persist in your new assumption. You must continually live from the state of being incomparable until it becomes your dominant state of consciousness. This persistence is key. The Bible tells us, be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. This renewal is not a single event, but a continuous process. Each time you catch yourself falling into the trap of comparison, gently remind yourself of your true nature. Affirm to yourself, I am unique. I am incomparable. I'm a perfect expression of the divine. Now let's address a common concern that arises when people begin to embrace this truth. Some worry that acting like they have no comparison means becoming arrogant or dismissive of others. But nothing could be further from the truth. When you truly understand and embody this principle, you recognize not only your own uniqueness, but the uniqueness of every individual. You see, when you act like you have no comparison, you free yourself from the need to be better than others. You no longer see life as a competition, but as an opportunity for each individual to express their unique essence. This understanding fosters genuine appreciation and respect for others, not arrogance or dismissal. Think of it this way. In a garden, we don't compare the rose to the daisy or the oak tree to the pine. We appreciate each for its unique beauty, its individual contribution to the overall harmony of the garden. In the same way, when you act like you have no comparison, you begin to see the world as a garden of unique individuals, each perfect in their own way. This perspective not only transforms how you see yourself, but how you interact with others. Instead of competing, you begin to collaborate. Instead of envying others' success, you celebrate it, recognizing that their achievement takes nothing away from your own unique path. This is the true meaning of abundance consciousness. The understanding that there is more than enough success, joy, and fulfillment for everyone. Let's delve deeper into the practical application of this principle. Acting like you have no comparison doesn't mean ignoring feedback or refusing to learn from others. It means receiving feedback and learning opportunities from a place of self-assurance rather than self-doubt. When you truly embody this principle, you can look at others' achievements not as a measure of your own inadequacy, but as inspiration for what's possible. For instance, if you're an artist and you see a piece of work that moves you, instead of thinking, I'll never be that good, you might think, wow, what a beautiful expression of creativity. I wonder how I can express my unique vision with that level of skill. Do you see the difference? One perspective comes from comparison and lack, the other from appreciation and abundance. This shift in perspective is crucial because it aligns you with the creative flow of the universe. When you're constantly comparing yourself to others, you're operating from a place of lack and limitation. You're saying to the universe, there's not enough success, talent, or recognition to go around. But when you act like you have no comparison, you're affirming the abundance of the universe. You're saying, there's room for everyone's unique expression, including mine. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, in the real world, we're often evaluated in comparison to others. How can I act like I have no comparison in a competitive job market or industry? And to that I say, your outer world will always conform to your inner assumptions. If you assume that you must compete and compare to succeed, that will be your experience. But if you assume that your unique talents and perspective are valuable and needed, you will find opportunities that align with that assumption Remember, the outer world is a shadow, a reflection of your consciousness. As you change your consciousness, as you fully embrace your incomparable nature, the outer world must change to reflect this new state. This is not wishful thinking. It is the law of your being. Let me share with you a powerful technique to reinforce this new state of consciousness. I call it the I Am meditation. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths to center yourself. Now begin to make I Am statements that affirm your incomparable nature. I am unique. I am a perfect expression of the divine. I am valuable beyond compare. I am confident in my unique gift. I am free from the need to compare myself to others. As you make these statements, feel their truth. Don't just say the words. Embody them. Feel the relief, the confidence, the freedom that comes with fully accepting your incomparable nature. Do this meditation daily, especially when you feel the old habit of comparison creeping in. This practice does more than just make you feel good in the moment. It is literally rewiring your subconscious mind, aligning it with the truth of your being. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what you vividly imagine and what you experience in the outer world. As you persist in this practice, your subconscious will accept these new assumptions as fact, and your outer world will have no choice but to conform. Now, let's address another aspect of acting like you have no comparison, the courage to be different. When you truly embrace your incomparable nature, you free yourself from the need to fit in or conform to others' expectations. You give yourself permission to be authentically, unapologetically you. This can be scary at first. We're conditioned from a young age to seek approval, to try to fit in. But remember, true fulfillment comes not from fitting in, but from standing out, not in a loud, attention-seeking way, but in the quiet confidence of being true to yourself. Think of the great innovators and change makers throughout history. They didn't achieve greatness by trying to be like everyone else. They dared to be different, to express their unique vision, to follow their own path. And in doing so, they not only fulfilled their own potential, but also contributed something valuable to the world. You have that same potential within you. You have a unique combination of talents, experiences, and perspectives that no one else in the world has. When you act like you have no comparison, you give yourself permission to fully express this uniqueness. You allow your true self to shine forth, unencumbered by the weight of others' expectations or societal norms. This doesn't mean you disregard all social conventions or act without consideration for others. It means you make choices based on your own inner guidance, your own values and aspirations, rather than from a place of fear or the need for approval. It means you have the courage to say no to opportunities that don't align with your true self, and yes to those that do, even if they seem unconventional or risky. Let me give you an example to illustrate this principle. Imagine you're in a meeting at work, and you have an idea that's quite different from what everyone else is suggesting. The old you, the one trapped in comparison, might keep quiet, afraid of looking foolish or being judged. But the new you, the one who acts like you, have no comparison, shares your idea confidently. You do so not from a place of wanting to prove you're better than others, but from a genuine desire to contribute your unique perspective. Now here's the interesting part. When you share your idea from this place of self-assurance and authenticity, people respond differently. They sense your conviction, your genuine enthusiasm, even if they don't immediately agree with your idea. They respect your courage and originality. And who knows? Your unique perspective might be exactly what's needed to solve the problem at hand. This is how acting like you, have no comparison, can not only transform your own life, but also positively impact those around you. When you free yourself from the prison of comparison, you give others permission to do the same. You become a living example of freedom and fulfillment that comes from embracing one's unique self. Now, I want to address something that often comes up when people begin to apply this principle. They worry that acting like they have no comparison means they can't admire or learn from others. But this is a misunderstanding. Acting like you have no comparison doesn't mean you can't appreciate others' talents or learn from their experiences. It means you do so from a place of self-assurance rather than self-doubt. When you truly embody this principle, you can look at others' achievements with genuine appreciation, free from envy or the feeling that their success somehow diminishes your own. You can learn from others' experiences without feeling that you need to replicate their path exactly. You understand that while you can gain valuable insights from others, your journey is ultimately unique to you. This perspective actually enhances your ability to learn and grow. When you're not busy comparing yourself to others or trying to fit into someone else's mold, you're free to absorb knowledge and experiences in a way that's most beneficial to you. You can take what resonates and leave what doesn't, without feeling pressured to adopt approaches or ideas that don't align with your unique self. Let's delve deeper into the spiritual aspect of acting like you. You have no comparison. At its core, this principle is about recognizing and honoring the divine within you. Remember, you are made in the image and likeness of God. This means that the infinite creative power of the universe resides within you. When you compare yourself to others, you are, in essence, denying this divine nature. You are saying the infinite is not enough. I need to be like someone else to have value. But when you act like you have no comparison, you are affirming your divine nature. You are saying, I am a unique expression of the infinite. I am enough, just as I am. This understanding brings with it a profound sense of peace and purpose. You no longer need to strive to be like anyone else. Your only task is to be the fullest, most authentic expression of yourself. This is not selfishness. It is the highest form of service. By fully expressing your unique self, you are fulfilling your divine purpose and contributing your unique gifts to the world. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, this all sounds wonderful in theory. But how do I maintain this state in a world that constantly pushes me to compare myself to others? And to that I say, it takes practice and persistence. You are breaking a lifetime habit of comparison and embracing a new way of being. It won't happen overnight, but with consistent effort, it will become your new normal. Here's a practical technique to help you maintain this state throughout your day. I call it the incomparable reminder. Choose an object that you see frequently throughout your day. It could be a ring you wear, a photograph on your desk, or even your own reflection in the mirror. Whenever you see this object, pause for a moment and remind yourself of your incomparable nature. You might say to yourself, I am unique. I am valuable. I'm incomparable. Feel the truth of these statements as you say them. This practice serves two purposes. First, it helps you catch yourself when you slip into the habit of comparison. Second, it reinforces your new self-concept throughout the day. Over time, this new self-concept will become so ingrained that acting like you have no comparison will be your natural state of being. Remember, the world around you is a reflection of your consciousness. As you consistently embody this new state, you'll begin to notice changes in your outer world. People will respond to you differently. Opportunities that align with your unique gifts will present themselves. You'll find yourself naturally gravitating towards experiences and relationships that honor and celebrate your uniqueness. But here's the key. You must persist even when your outer world hasn't yet caught up with your new inner state. There may be a time lag between your change in consciousness and its manifestation in your physical reality. During this time, you must hold fast to your new assumption. You must live from the state of being incomparable, even if your circumstances seem to contradict it. This is where faith comes in, not blind faith, but faith based on understanding the law of your being. You must have faith that as you persist in your new assumption, your outer world must conform. This is not wishful thinking. It is the law of creation. Just as a seed planted in the ground must grow into its corresponding plant, so must your assumption grow into its corresponding physical reality. Now let's address another important aspect of acting like you have no comparison. The freedom it brings to your relationships. When you're constantly comparing yourself to others, your relationships tend to be tinged with competition, envy, or insecurity. But when you fully embrace your incomparable nature, you are free to engage with others from a place of genuine appreciation and collaboration. Think about it. When you know that you're unique and valuable just as you are, you no longer need to prove yourself to others. You don't need to be better than anyone else to feel worthy. This frees you to form authentic connections based on mutual respect and appreciation. You can celebrate others' successes without feeling diminished. You can offer your unique perspective without fear of judgment. This shift in how you relate to others can transform your personal and professional relationships, creating a more harmonious and fulfilling social environment. As we conclude our discussion on acting like you have no comparison, I want to emphasize that this is not just a personal development strategy. It is a spiritual practice that aligns you with the truth of your being. By embracing your incomparable nature, you are stepping into your divine inheritance. You are claiming your rightful place as a unique expression of the infinite. This is not ego or arrogance. It is the humble recognition of the divine within you. Remember, your task in this life is not to be like anyone else. It is to be the fullest, most authentic expression of yourself. As you embrace this truth, as you consistently act from the state of being incomparable, you will find a level of freedom, fulfillment, and creative expression that you may have never thought possible. You will discover that the universe is not a hostile place where you must compete for limited resources, but an abundant field of infinite possibilities, waiting for you to express your unique gifts. So go forth, my dear friends, and act like you have no comparison. Not from a place of superiority, but from a place of self-assurance and divine recognition. Know that as you do this, you are not only transforming your own life, but you are contributing to the elevation of all humanity. For as you free yourself from the prison of comparison, you give others permission to do the same. You become a living example of the freedom and fulfillment that comes from embracing one's true divine nature. And in this way, you play your part in creating a world where each individual is free to express their unique essence, contributing to the grand symphony of life in their own incomparable way. My dear friends, we are here to discuss how you can create the life of your dreams. But before we delve into this topic, I want you to understand that what I'm about to share with you is not mere theory or wishful thinking. It is the very foundation of reality itself, the secret of creation that has been hidden in plain sight for millennia. You see, the world you perceive around you, the circumstances of your life, the experiences you encounter daily, all of these are but outpicturings of your own consciousness. Your consciousness is God, the only creative power in the universe. And this God is not some external deity residing in the heavens, but the very I am within you. You are that creative power, the divine imagination which shapes and molds the substance of your reality. Now, I know this might sound fantastical to some of you. You might be thinking, Neville, if I am this all-powerful creator, why is my life not perfect? Why do I face challenges and hardships? And to that I say, it is because you have not yet fully awakened to your true nature. You have been living in a state of sleep, accepting the world of shadows as reality, forgetting that you are the dreamer who can change the dream at will. Creating the life of your dreams begins with a fundamental shift to your understanding of reality. You must grasp, not intellectually, but knowingly, that your imagination creates reality. Whatever you assume to be true, whatever you feel to be real, whatever you live in your imagination, that is what will be made manifest in your world. This is the law, immutable and inexorable. Let me share with you a simple yet powerful technique to begin shaping your reality. It's called living in the end. To create the life of your dreams, you must first imagine that you already have it. You must enter into the feeling of the wish fulfilled. If your dream is to be wealthy, you must feel the satisfaction and security of wealth. If your dream is to be in a loving relationship, you must feel the love and companionship as if it were already yours. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine a scene that would imply your desire is already fulfilled. See it clearly in your mind's eye. Now here's the crucial part. Feel it. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the gratitude of having your desire realized. Make it so real that when you open your eyes, the world around you seems dull in comparison to the vivid reality you've just experienced in your imagination. This, my friends, is the secret of creation. God's name is I am, and every time you say I am, you are invoking the creative power of the universe. So be careful with your I am statements. When you say I am poor, I am sick, I am unlucky, you are decreeing these states into existence. Instead, align your I am with your desires. Say, I am wealthy, I am healthy, I am fortunate. And feel the truth of these statements in your imagination. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, I've tried positive thinking before and it didn't work. To that, I say, positive thinking alone is not enough. You must combine your thoughts with feeling, with the conviction of reality. Your subconscious mind, which is the creator of your circumstances, does not understand the difference between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience in the outer world. It takes the impressions you offer it to your imaginal acts and works faithfully to bring them into your physical reality. Remember, the Bible tells us, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Note that it says in his heart, not just in his mind. This points to the importance of feeling, of emotional intensity in your imaginal acts. Your feeling is your prayer, and that prayer is always answered. Let me give you an example to illustrate this principle. Suppose you desire financial abundance. Instead of focusing on your current lack of money or worrying about bills, you would imagine a scene that implies your financial wishes are fulfilled. Perhaps you'd imagine yourself looking at a bank statement with a balance that delights you. See the numbers clearly. Feel the joy, the relief, the excitement of having that money. Feel the texture of the paper in your hands. Hear the rustle as you hold it. Smell the crisp scent of the newly printed statement. Engage all your senses to make this imaginal act as vivid and as real as possible. Now here's where many people falter. They do this exercise once or twice and then go back to their habitual thinking and feeling of lack. But remember, creation is finished. All possible states already exist. Your job is not to create your desire anew, but to occupy the state of its fulfillments so completely that it becomes your new reality. So, you must persist in your imaginal act. You must live from the end consistently, persistently, until it hardens into fact. When you lie down to sleep at night, instead of revisiting the worries and frustrations of your day, enter into the scene of your wish fulfilled. Float off to sleep in the consciousness of being the person you want to be, having what you want to have, doing what you want to do. This practice of sleeping in the assumption of the wish fulfilled is incredibly powerful. You see, sleep is a natural form of trance, where your conscious, rational mind is subdued, and your subconscious is more receptive to impressions. By falling asleep in the state of your wish fulfilled, you are programming your subconscious to align your outer world with this new inner conviction. Now, let's address a common concern. Many of you might be wondering, how long would it take for my desire to manifest? And to that I say, time is a construct of your human consciousness. In the realm of creation, there is only the eternal now. Your desire is already fulfilled in what we might call the fourth dimensional reality. Your consistent assumption and feeling of the wish fulfilled is what brings it into your three-dimensional experience. The bridge of incidents that leads to the fulfillment of your desire will form naturally and automatically. You need not concern yourself with the how. Your only task is to persist in the assumption that your desire is already fulfilled. The infinite intelligence of your subconscious mind will take care of the how, rearranging people, circumstances, and events to align with your new self-concept. Let me share with you a powerful truth. You are already the person you want to be. You are already living the life of your dreams. It exists now. In the realm of infinite possibilities, your job is to tune into that frequency, to align your consciousness with that reality, and to live from that state consistently. Think of it like this. Imagine a radio with infinite stations. Each station represents a different state of being, a different version of your life. Right now, you might be tuned into the station of lack, or struggle, or unfulfillment. But with a simple twist of the dial, a shift in your consciousness, you can tune into the station where your desires are already fulfilled. This is why it's so crucial to watch your mental diet. The thoughts you consistently think, the inner conversations you habitually entertain, the assumptions you hold about yourself and the world. These are the dial that tunes you into different stations of reality. So guard your mind carefully. Be selective about the thoughts you entertain, the words you speak, the feelings you cultivate. Now, I want to address something that often trips people up on this journey of conscious creation. It's the appearance of things in your outer world that seem to contradict your desire. Remember this, the outer world is a shadow, a reflection of past thoughts and assumptions. When you begin to change your inner world, there might be a time lag before the outer world catches up. During this time, you must not waver in your assumption. If you've imagined financial abundance, but your bank account still shows lack, do not be discouraged. If you've imagined perfect health, but symptoms still persist, do not lose faith. These are old shadows lagging behind your new consciousness. They have no power except that which you give them through your attention and belief. Instead of reacting to these shadows, persist in your new assumption. When confronted with contradictory evidence in the outer world, simply say to yourself, this is an old shadow. It is passing away. I am now wealthy. I am now healthy. And continue to live from the state of your wish fulfilled. This takes practice and persistence. You are breaking lifelong habits of thought and perception. You are overriding years, perhaps decades, of contrary evidence and limiting beliefs. But remember, you are the operant power. You are the one who gives life to your assumptions. As you persist in your new assumption, as you consistently occupy the state of your wish fulfilled, your outer world has no choice but to conform. Let's delve deeper into the nature of your true self. For this understanding is crucial in creating the life of your dreams. You are not your body. You are not your circumstances. You are not your past experiences or future expectations. You are pure awareness, pure consciousness. You are the observer, the perceiver, the I am at the center of all your experiences. This I am is infinite and eternal. It is the God presence within you, the creator of all that is. When you say I am, you are invoking this creative power. And whatever follows I am becomes your reality. This is why it's so important to be mindful of your I am statements. Instead of saying I am tired, say I am energized. Instead of I am broke, say I am abundantly supplied. Instead of I am lonely, say I am deeply loved and connected. And as you make these statements, feel their truth. Your feeling is your faith. And according to your faith, is it done unto you? Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, isn't this lying to myself? These statements don't match my current reality. And to that I say, you are not lying to yourself. You are acknowledging a higher truth. You are aligning yourself with a version of you that already exists in the realm of infinite possibility. Remember, what you see in your outer world is not the truth. It is a shadow, a reflection of your past thoughts and assumptions. By changing your I am statements, by living from the end, you are casting a new shadow. You are tuning into a new frequency of reality. This practice requires a suspension of disbelief. You must be willing to temporarily ignore the evidence of your senses and live as though your desire is already fulfilled. This is what faith is all about. Faith is not belief in spite of evidence, but the evidence of things not seen. Let me share with you a powerful technique to strengthen your faith and accelerate your manifestations. It's called revision. At the end of each day, before you go to sleep, revisit the events of your day in your imagination. But instead of replaying them as they occurred, revise them. See them playing out in a way that aligns with your desires. If you had a disagreement with someone, replay the scene in your mind, but this time, see it resolving harmoniously. If you received bad news, revise it to good news. If you missed an opportunity, see yourself seizing it successfully. This practice does more than just make you feel better. It actually goes back and changes the seed of those events in your consciousness, which in turn changes their future implications. You see, time is not a straight line as we perceive it in our three-dimensional experience. From the viewpoint of your fourth-dimensional self, all time is simultaneous. The past, present, and future exist now. By revising the past in your imagination, you are literally changing the trajectory of your life. This might seem impossible from a logical standpoint, but remember, logic is based on our limited three-dimensional perception. In the realm of consciousness, in the realm of creation, all things are possible. Your imagination is not bound by the constraints of physical reality. In your imagination, you can be, do, or have anything you desire. Now let's address another crucial aspect of creating the life of your dreams: detachment. Many people, when they begin to apply these principles, become anxious and impatient for results. They constantly look for signs that their desire is manifesting. They worry when things don't change immediately. This anxiety and attachment actually push their desire further away. You must learn to detach from the outcome. This doesn't mean you don't care about your desire. It means you are so confident in its fulfillment that you don't need to constantly check for results. You live in the calm assurance that what you have imagined must come to pass. Think of it. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You water it, you ensure it gets sunlight, and then you leave it alone, trusting in the natural process of growth. Creating the life of your dreams works the same way. You plant the seed in your subconscious through your imaginal act, you nurture it with your consistent assumption, and then you allow it to grow in its own time and way. This detachment comes from a deep understanding that you are not separate from your desire. You are not trying to get something you lack. You are simply aligning with a version of you that already has what you desire. From this perspective, there's nothing to be anxious about, nothing to doubt, nothing to fear. Let's now explore the concept of states. Every desire you have represents a state of consciousness. If you desire wealth, there is a state of consciousness called wealth. If you desire a loving relationship, there is a state of consciousness called being in a loving relationship. Your job is not to make these states real. They already exist. Your job is to occupy these states in your imagination until they become your reality. You can think of these states as rooms in a grand mansion. Right now, you might be occupying the room of lack or loneliness or ill health. But at any moment, you can choose to walk out of that room and into the room of abundance, love, or perfect health. How do you do this? By changing your inner conversation, by altering your mental diet, by living from the assumption that you're already the person you want to be. This is why it's so important to mind your inner talk. Your self-talk is the narrator of your life story. If your inner voice is constantly affirming lack, limitation, and failure, that's the story you'll live out. But when you consciously choose to change your inner dialogue to one of abundance, success, and fulfillment, you begin to shift into those states of consciousness. Now, I want to address something that often comes up when people begin to apply these principles. They worry that by focusing on their own desires, they're being selfish or ignoring the needs of others. But remember this: you cannot give what you do not have. By creating the life of your dreams, by becoming the best version of yourself, you put yourself in a position to help others more effectively. Moreover, as you raise your own consciousness, as you tune into higher frequencies of love, abundance, and joy, you automatically uplift those around you. Your vibration affects everyone you come into contact with. By creating the life of your dreams, you're not just serving yourself, you're serving the world. Let's delve deeper into the nature of desire itself. Every desire you have is God's way of telling you what's possible for you. Your desires are not random or meaningless. They are divine impulses, seeds of potential planted in your consciousness by the infinite intelligence of the universe. When you feel a strong desire for something, be it a material possession, a relationship, a career achievement, or a state of being, know that the very existence of that desire is proof of its possibility. The infinite would not plant a desire in your heart without also providing the means for its fulfillment. This understanding should fill you with confidence and excitement. Your desires are not pipe dreams or fantasies. They are previews of coming attractions. They're glimpses of what's possible for you, invitations to expand into greater versions of yourself. So instead of feeling frustrated by unfulfilled desires, be grateful for them. See them as signposts pointing you towards your highest potential. Embrace them as the voice of God within you, calling you towards your greatest life. Now let's address a common misconception about the law of assumption. Some people believe that if they just think positive thoughts, their life will magically transform overnight. While positive thinking is certainly beneficial, it's not the whole picture. The law of assumption goes much deeper than mere positive thinking. When I speak of assuming the state of your wish fulfilled, I'm talking about a complete embodiment of that state. It's not just about thinking you are wealthy, but feeling wealthy, acting wealthy, perceiving the world as a wealthy person would. It's about aligning your entire being, your thoughts, feelings, actions, and perceptions with the version of you that already has what you desire. This level of assumption requires practice and persistence. It's not always easy, especially when your current circumstances seem to contradict your desire. But remember, circumstances don't matter. Only state of consciousness matters. Your state of consciousness is the cause. Circumstances are the effect. So how do you maintain this state of consciousness when the outer world seems to contradict it? The key is to cultivate an unshakable faith in the reality of your imaginal acts. You must become so convinced of the reality of your imagination that the outer world becomes like a shadow in comparison. This faith comes from understanding the true nature of reality. What you see in the outer world is not the truth. It is a projection, a shadow cast by your consciousness. As you change your consciousness, the projection must change. It has no choice. This is law. Let me give you a practical exercise to strengthen your faith and deepen your understanding of this principle. Tonight, before you go to sleep, choose a small, simple desire. Perhaps it's to receive a compliment, or to see a specific type of flower, or to have a pleasant interaction with a stranger. Imagine a scene that implies this desire is fulfilled. See it clearly, feel it is real. Now, as you go about your day tomorrow, watch for the fulfillment of this desire when it comes to pass, and it will recognize it as the result of your imaginal act. This practice of consciously manifesting small desires will build your faith in the creative power of your imagination. As you see these small manifestations occur, you'll gain the confidence to apply this principle to larger desires. Remember, the same law that brings a flower into your experience can bring a fortune. The only difference is in your ability to accept it as possible. As we conclude our discussion on creating the life of your dreams, I want to emphasize that this is not a one-time event, but a continuous process of growth and expansion. Your desires will evolve as you evolve. As you manifest one dream, new dreams will arise. This is the nature of life, constant expansion, constant becoming. Embrace this journey. See each desire as an opportunity to know yourself more deeply, to express more fully the infinite potential within you. Finally, remember that you are not alone in this journey. The entire universe is conspiring to support your growth and expansion. Trust in the perfect unfolding of your life. Know that as you align your consciousness with your desires, as you live from the state of your wish fulfilled, all of creation moves to bring your dreams into reality. You are the author of your life story. Write it beautifully. Live it fully. And watch and wonder as the life of your dreams unfolds before you. The power is within you. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, and create a life that inspires not only you, but all those around you. Ladies and gentlemen, the topic of our discussion is embrace the change and keep moving forward. As we delve into this subject, I want you to open your minds and hearts to the infinite possibilities that lie within you. Change, my dear friends, is not something that happens to us. It's something that happens to us. We are the creators of our reality, the architects of our destiny. When we truly understand and embrace this concept, we unlock the door to a life of boundless potential and endless growth. Let us begin by understanding the nature of change. In this ever-shifting world, change is the only constant. The universe is in a perpetual state of flux, and we, as conscious beings, are an integral part of this cosmic dance. To resist change is to resist the very essence of life itself. But here's the beautiful truth. You have within you the power to direct this change. You are not a mere spectator in the theater of life. You are the playwright, the director, and the lead actor. Your thoughts, your beliefs, and your imagination are the tools with which you craft your reality. Consider for a moment the world around you. Everything you see, everything you experience, began as a thought, an idea in someone's mind. The chair you're sitting on, the building you're in, the very clothes on your back, all were once mere imaginings before they materialized into physical reality. This same principle applies to every aspect of your life. When we talk about embracing change and moving forward, we're not discussing a passive acceptance of external circumstances. No, we're talking about actively shaping your world through the power of your consciousness. You see, the external world is nothing but a reflection of your inner state of being, as within. Now I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath and relax. Imagine yourself standing at the threshold of a new chapter in your life. See yourself stepping forward with confidence, embracing the changes that come your way. Feel the excitement coursing through your veins as you move towards your desired reality. This, my friends, is the state of consciousness from which all positive change springs forth. But how do we maintain this state of embracing change and moving forward? The key lies in understanding the law of assumption. This universal principle states that if you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, if you live from the end result you desire, the outer world must conform to mirror that inner conviction. Let me illustrate this with a simple example. Suppose you desire promotion at work. Instead of anxiously waiting for it to happen, living in a state of lack and worry, you must assume the feeling of already having received that promotion. How would you feel? How would you carry yourself? What thoughts would occupy your mind? Live from that state of consciousness and watch as the outer world rearranges itself to match your inner conviction. This principle applies to every area of your life. Whether you're seeking improved health, harmonious relationships, financial abundance, or personal growth, the process remains the same. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Live from that state of consciousness and persist in that assumption until it hardens into fact. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what about the challenges and obstacles we face? How can we embrace change when it seems difficult or even painful? My dear friends, this is where the true power of your imagination comes into play. You see, challenges and obstacles are not barriers to your progress. They're opportunities for growth, stepping stones on your path to greatness. When you encounter a seemingly difficult situation, instead of resisting it or feeling defeated, use your imagination to see beyond it. See the lessons, see the growth, see the new possibilities that this change is bringing into your life. Remember, your imagination is not bound by the limitations of your current circumstances. It can transcend time and space. It can reshape your reality in an instant. When you face a challenge, close your eyes and imagine the ideal outcome. Feel the relief, the joy, the sense of accomplishment as if it has already happened. This is not mere positive thinking. This is actively shaping your reality through the power of your consciousness. Let's delve deeper into this concept of embracing change. Change in its essence is neutral. It is our perception, our interpretation of that change that gives it meaning. What might seem like a setback to one person could be seen as an opportunity for growth to another. The difference lies in their state of consciousness. Consider the caterpillar transforming into a butterfly. From the caterpillar's perspective, the process of metamorphosis might seem like the end of its existence. It's leaving behind everything it has known, everything that defined its identity. But we, with our broader perspective, know that this change is not an ending, but a beautiful beginning. The caterpillar is not losing itself. It's becoming its truest, most magnificent self. In the same way, the changes in your life, even those that seem challenging or painful, are opportunities for your own metamorphosis. They are invitations to shed the limitations of your old self and step into a greater, more expansive version of who you truly are. But how do we maintain this perspective in the face of seemingly adverse circumstances? The answer lies in your ability to revise your experience through the power of your imagination. You see, your imagination is not bound by the constraints of linear time. In your imagination, you can revisit any experience, any moment, and reimagine it in a way that serves your growth and forward movement. Let me share a technique that I call revision. At the end of each day, before you sleep, review the events of your day in your imagination. If there were any experiences that you found challenging or unpleasant, reimagine them. See them playing out differently, in a way that aligns with your desires and supports your growth. Feel the emotions of this revised experience as if it had actually happened that way. This practice does more than just make you feel better about your day. It actually reshapes your subconscious patterns and beliefs, altering the trajectory of your future experiences. Remember, your outer world is a reflection of your inner state. By revising your experiences in your imagination, you're literally rewriting the script of your life. Now, let's talk about the second part of our talk. Keep moving forward. Moving forward is not about physical action alone. It's primarily a state of consciousness, a way of being. When you're truly moving forward, you're not just changing your external circumstances. You're evolving as a conscious being. Think of this phrase you have. Every challenge you face, every change you embrace, is an opportunity for you to know yourself more fully, to express more of your divine nature. You are an infinite being having a human experience. Your journey forward is not about getting somewhere external. It's about unfolding more of who you truly are. This understanding changes everything. It shifts your focus from external goals and achievements to internal growth and expansion. Don't misunderstand me. There's nothing wrong with having external goals, but when your primary focus is on your inner growth, on expanding your consciousness, the external manifestations will naturally follow. So how do we keep moving forward in this sense? The key is to cultivate a state of constant awareness, of being fully present in each moment. When you're truly present, you're able to see each experience, each change as an opportunity for growth. You're able to respond to life with creativity and wisdom, rather than reacting from old patterns and limitations. The state of presence of awareness is your true nature. It's who you really are beneath the layers of conditioning and learned behaviors. As you cultivate this awareness, you'll find that moving forward becomes effortless. It's not something you do, it's something you allow. Imagine a river flowing towards the ocean. The river doesn't struggle to move forward. It simply flows, following the natural contours of the land, adapting to each twist and turn. Sometimes it moves swiftly, other times it slows down, but it never stops moving towards its destination. This is the kind of forward movement I'm talking about. Natural, effortless. But what about when we encounter obstacles on our path? What about when change seems too daunting? When moving forward feels impossible? This is where the power of your imagination becomes crucial. You see, your imagination is the bridge between your current reality and your desired state of being. When you face an obstacle, instead of focusing on the problem, use your imagination to see beyond it. Imagine the solution. Feel the relief and joy of having overcome the challenge. Live from that state of consciousness and watch as the path forward reveals itself. Remember, the universe is infinitely creative. There are countless ways for your desires to manifest, most of which you can't even conceive of with your rational mind. Your job is not to figure out how everything will work out. Your job is to hold the vision of your desired reality, to live from that state of consciousness, and to trust in the perfect unfolding of your life. This trust, this faith, is not blind optimism. It's based on a deep understanding of the laws of consciousness. When you truly grasp that your outer world is a reflection of your inner state, you realize that by changing your consciousness, you inevitably change your reality. This is the true meaning of embracing change and moving forward. Now, let's explore another crucial aspect of embracing change and moving forward. The power of your self-concept. Your self-concept is the sum total of all your beliefs about who you are. It's the story you tell yourself about your capabilities, your worth, your place in the world. And here's the key. Your experiences will always align with your self-concept. If you see yourself as someone who struggles with change, who finds it difficult to move forward, then that will be your experience. But if you see yourself as someone who embraces change, who moves forward with ease and grace, then that becomes your reality. The choice is yours. This is where the practice of I am comes into play. Your I am is the most powerful creative force in your universe. Whatever follows, I am shapes your reality. So choose your I am statements wisely. Instead of saying I'm afraid of change, say I am embracing change with enthusiasm. Instead of I am stuck, say I'm moving forward with confidence. But remember, these are not mere affirmations to be repeated mindlessly. They are states of being to be felt, to be lived from. When you say I'm embracing change, feel what that would be like. How would you carry yourself? What thoughts would occupy your mind? What emotions would you experience? Live from that state and watch as your outer world aligns with this new self-concept. This brings us to another important point. The role of feeling in creating your reality. Your feelings are the secret power behind your thoughts. It's not enough to think about embracing change or moving forward. You must feel it. You must embody it. Emotion is the fuel that powers the engine of manifestation. When you combine a clear mental image of your desire with the corresponding feeling state, you create an unstoppable force of creation. This is why it's so important to cultivate positive emotional states. Joy, excitement, gratitude, love. These are not just pleasant experiences. They are powerful creative forces that shape your reality. So how do we cultivate these positive emotional states? Especially when facing challenging changes. The answer lies in your ability to choose your focus. You see, in any given moment, there are countless aspects of your experience that you could focus on. Some may evoke feelings of fear or resistance, while others may inspire feelings of excitement and possibility. Where you place your attention determines your emotional state. This doesn't mean ignoring or denying challenging aspects of your experience. It means choosing to focus on the aspects that empower you, that move you forward. What's the opportunity here? How can this change help me grow? What new possibilities does this open up for me? By asking these questions, you shift your focus and consequently your emotional state. Now let's talk about the concept of persistence. Embracing change and moving forward is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing process, a way of life. It requires persistence, the ability to hold on to your vision even when external circumstances seem to contradict it. Remember, there's often a time lag between the change in your consciousness and its manifestation in your outer world. This is where many people falter. They change their thoughts and feelings for a short while, and when they don't see immediate results, they revert to their old patterns. But those who persist, who maintain their new state of consciousness, regardless of external evidence, are the ones who experience true transformation. Think of it like planting a seed. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't see any immediate evidence of growth. But beneath the surface, changes are happening. The seed is germinating, roots are forming. If you were to dig up the seed every day to check on its progress, you'd interfere with its growth. Instead, you trust in the process. You continue to water and nurture the soil, knowing that in due time the plant will emerge. The same principle applies to the seeds of change you plant in your consciousness. Continue to nurture them with your thoughts, your feelings, your unwavering belief. Trust in the process, even when you can't yet see the results. This is the essence of persistence. But persistence doesn't mean rigid attachment to a specific outcome. It means maintaining a state of consciousness that aligns with your desires while remaining open to the infinite ways in which they can manifest. Sometimes, the universe has even better plans for you than you can imagine. By staying open and flexible, you allow these higher possibilities to unfold in your life. This brings us to another crucial aspect of embracing change and moving forward. Detachment. Now, detachment doesn't mean not caring about your desires. It means not being anxiously attached to how and when they will manifest. It means trusting in the perfect unfolding of your life, knowing that everything is always working out for your highest good. Detachment allows you to enjoy the journey, to find joy and fulfillment in the process of growth and change, rather than constantly striving for some future state of happiness. It allows you to be fully present in each moment, to appreciate the beauty and lessons in every experience, even the challenging ones. This state of detachment is closely linked to the practice of surrender. Surrender is not about giving up or resigning yourself to unwanted circumstances. It's about releasing your grip on how things should be and allowing the infinite wisdom of the universe to guide your path. When you truly surrender, you release the burden of trying to control everything. You tap into a flow of grace and ease that carries you forward. This doesn't mean you become passive. You still take inspired action, but it comes from a place of alignment and flow rather than struggle and force. Now let's delve deeper into the concept of inspired action. When you're in alignment with your desires, when you're living from the state of your wish fulfilled, you'll find yourself naturally inspired to take certain actions. These actions will feel joyful, exciting, almost effortless. This is very different from the forced, anxious action that comes from a place of lack or fear. Inspired action is like sailing with the wind at your back. You're still steering the boat, still making choices, but you have the power of the universe supporting you. This is how you keep moving forward with grace and ease. Remember, the universe is always communicating with you, always guiding you towards your highest good. But to hear this guidance, you need to cultivate a state of inner stillness. This is where practices like meditation and mindfulness come in. These practices help you quiet the chatter of your mind, so you can hear the whispers of your intuition. Your intuition is your direct line to infinite intelligence. It's the part of you that knows the shortest path to your desires. By learning to trust and follow your intuition, you navigate the changes in your life with wisdom and grace. You move forward not by forcing your way through obstacles, but by flowing around them, always finding the path of least resistance. This brings us to another important point: the power of letting go. Sometimes moving forward means letting go of things that no longer serve you. This could be old beliefs, outdated habits, or even relationships that no longer align with your growth. Letting go can be challenging, but it's essential for your evolution. Think of it like pruning a plant. By cutting away the dead or excess branches, you allow more energy to flow to the healthy, growing pots. In the same way, by letting go of what no longer serves you, you free up energy for new growth, new experiences, new aspects of yourself to emerge. But how do we let go? Especially of things we've been holding on to for a long time. The key is to understand that letting go is not a loss, but a gain. You're not losing something valuable. You're making space for something even better. When you truly grasp this, letting go becomes an act of self-love, an affirmation of your worthiness to receive more good in your life. Now, as we continue to explore this topic of embracing change and moving forward, I want to address a common misconception. Many people believe that embracing change means constantly seeking new experiences, always being on the move. But true change, true forward movement, often happens in moments of stillness. Think of a tree. It grows and changes constantly, yet it remains rooted in one place. Its growth is not about moving to a new location, but about expanding its branches, deepening its roots, becoming more of what it truly is. This is the kind of growth and forward movement I'm talking about. Not a restless seeking of external experiences, but a deepening and expansion of your own being. This brings us to the concept of being versus doing. In our action-oriented society, we often equate moving forward with doing more. But true progress, true change, comes from a shift in your state of being. When you change who you are being, your actions naturally align with that new state. For example, if you want to embrace change more easily, don't focus on doing things differently. Focus on being the kind of person who flows with change, who sees opportunities in every situation. From this state of being, your actions will naturally support your desire to embrace change. This shift from doing to being is truly transformative. It takes you out of the endless cycle of striving and struggling and into a state of effortless creation. It allows you to move forward not through force, but through alignment with your true nature. As we conclude this discussion on embracing change and moving forward, I want to leave you with this final thought. Every moment is an opportunity for transformation. Every breath is a chance to step into a new version of yourself. The power to change your life, to move forward into new realms of experience and expression, is always available to you. It resides within you, in the infinite creative power of your consciousness. Remember, you're not the helpless spectator in the drama of your life. You are the author, the director, and the lead actor. Through your imagination, your assumptions, and your persistence in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you have the power to shape your reality. Embrace this power. Use it consciously and deliberately. Let it guide you forward into the glorious future that awaits you. So go forth, my dear friends, with the knowledge that you are divine beings, creators of your own reality. Embrace change not as something to be feared, but as the very essence of life itself. Keep moving forward, not through struggle and strain, but through the joyful expression of your true self. For in this lies the secret to a life of boundless possibility, of constant growth and expansion. You are limitless. You are powerful. You are the architect of your destiny. Now go and create the life of your dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, our topic, champions, find a way to make it happen, is not merely a statement, but a revelation of the very nature of reality and the power that resides within each one of us. As we embark on this journey together, I ask you to open your minds and hearts to the infinite possibilities that lie within your own consciousness. For you see, the champion we speak of is not some external figure of greatness, but the divine essence that resides within you. Let us begin by understanding that the world we perceive is nothing more than a reflection of our own consciousness. Every circumstance, every challenge, every triumph we experience is but an outward manifestation of our inner state of being. The champion we seek to become is already within us, waiting to be recognized and expressed. Now you may ask, how do I tap into this inner champion? How do I make things happen in my life? The answer, my dear friends, lies in the power of your imagination. For imagination is not some fanciful daydreaming, but the very substance of reality itself. When we speak of champions finding a way to make it happen, we are speaking of those who have mastered the art of living in the end. They do not struggle against current circumstances, for they know that circumstances are but shadows of past thoughts and beliefs. Instead, they dare to imagine the desired end as a present fact. And in doing so, they alter the very fabric of their reality. Consider for a moment the goal you wish to achieve, the dream you long to realize. Can you see it clearly in your mind's eye? Can you feel the emotions associated with its accomplishment? This, my friends, is the key to unlocking your inner champion. For when you can live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you set in motion forces beyond your current understanding. But let me caution you, this is not mere positive thinking or wishful daydreaming. This is a fundamental shift in your state of consciousness. You must feel the reality of your desire with such intensity that it becomes more real to you than your present circumstances. This is what it means to live in the end. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, my current reality seems so far from my desired state. How can I possibly ignore what my senses tell me? To this I say, your senses show you only the world of effects, not causes. The champion within you deals with causes, not effects. Remember, the world is yourself pushed out. What you see in your outer world is a reflection of your inner assumptions and beliefs. Therefore, to change your world, you must change your assumptions about yourself and what is possible for you. Let me share with you a profound truth. There's no such thing as impossible to the champion within you. What appears impossible to your rational mind is merely an opportunity for your inner champion to demonstrate its power. For you see, the champion doesn't bow to circumstances. The champion creates circumstances. Now let us delve deeper into the mechanics of how champions make things happen. It begins with a shift in identity. You must cease to see yourself as someone striving to become a champion, and instead, Assume the identity of the champion you wish to be. This is not pretense or self-deception, but a recognition of your true nature. Imagine for a moment that you are already the champion you aspire to be. How would you think? How would you feel? How would you carry yourself? This is not an exercise in fantasy, but a deliberate act of consciousness to align yourself with the version of you that has already achieved your desires. As you assume this new identity, you will find that your actions naturally align with your new self-concept. The champion within you will guide your decisions, inspire your actions, and attract the circumstances necessary for your success. This is the law of assumption at work. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and it must externalize itself in your world. But let me be clear. This is not about forcing things to happen through sheer willpower. The champion within you operates from a place of knowing, not striving. It is a state of opening yourself to the infinite possibilities that exist in the realm of pure potential. Consider the great champions of history, in sports, in business and art, in any field of human endeavor. What set them apart was not merely their skills or circumstances, but their unshakable belief in their own potential. They saw themselves as champions, long before the world recognized them as such. This, my friends, is the secret of those who find a way to make it happen. They do not wait for circumstances to change. They change their consciousness, and in doing so, they change their world. Now, you might be wondering, but Neville, what about the challenges and obstacles we face? Surely they are real and must be dealt with? To this I say, obstacles are but opportunities for the champion within you to demonstrate its power. They are not barriers to your success, but stepping stones on your path to greatness. Remember, the outer world is a reflection of your inner state. When you encounter challenges, do not fight against them or bemoan their existence. Instead, see them as the perfect opportunities they are. Chances for you to exercise your power of assumption and to demonstrate the truth of your new identity. Let me share with you a powerful technique that champions use to overcome obstacles. When faced with a challenge, they do not focus on the problem itself. Instead, they imagine the state they would be in if the problem were already solved. They live in the end feeling the relief, the joy, the satisfaction of having overcome the obstacle. By doing this, they align their consciousness with the solution rather than the problem. And as we know, what we focus on expands. Focus on problems and you'll see more problems. Focus on solutions and solutions will appear. This is not magical thinking, my dear friends. This is the very nature of consciousness and its relationship to the world of form. Your consciousness is the only reality. What you assume to be true, what you feel to be real, must inevitably express itself in your outer world. Now, let us address another crucial aspect of how champions make things happen. Persistence. But not persistence as the world understands it, not a dogged determination to push against resistance. No. The persistence of a champion is the persistence of vision, the unwavering maintenance of the desired state in consciousness. You see, many people give up on their dreams because they do not see immediate results. They allow the evidence of their senses to override their imagination. But the champion understands that there is often a time lag between the inner assumption and its outer manifestation. They know that a seed must be planted and nurtured before the harvest can be reaped. So, persist in your assumption. Hold fast to the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even when your senses scream otherwise. For it is your persistent assumption that will reshape your reality, not the fleeting circumstances of the moment. Let me emphasize this point. The champion's way of making things happen is not about controlling external events. It is about controlling your own state of consciousness. For when you control the cause, your consciousness, the effects must follow. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, surely there must be action involved in making things happen. And you are right, action is indeed part of the process. But it is inspired action, action that flows naturally from your assumed state. When you truly live in the end, when you fully embody the state of the wish fulfilled, you will find yourself naturally taking the actions that align with that state. You won't need to force yourself or struggle against resistance. The right actions will feel natural and effortless because they're in harmony with your new self-concept. This is how champions make things happen. Not through forced action or struggle, but through aligned action that flows from their assumed state of being. Let us now explore another crucial aspect of the champion's mindset: detachment from outcomes. This might seem counterintuitive at first. After all, aren't champions focused on achieving specific goals? Yes, but their focus is not on the outer achievement itself, but on the state of being that the achievement represents. You see, when you attach yourself too strongly to a specific outcome, you create resistance. You become anxious, you doubt, you worry about whether it will happen or not. And in doing so, you push your desire away from you. The champion, on the other hand, knows that their desire is already fulfilled in the realm of infinite possibilities. They live in the state of the wish fulfilled, feeling the joy and satisfaction of its realization, without being attached to how or when it will manifest in the physical world. This detachment is not indifference. It is supreme confidence. It is the knowing that what is yours cannot be taken from you, that what you have assumed in consciousness must inevitably express itself in your world. So, release your attachment to outcomes. Focus instead on maintaining the state of the wish fulfilled. Trust in the law of assumption, knowing that as you persist in your desired state, the outer world must conform to match it. Now, let us address a question that often arises when discussing this approach to achievement. What about hard work and effort? Don't champions work hard to achieve their goals? The answer is yes, champions often do work hard. But their effort comes from a different place than that of the average person. It comes from inspiration rather than desperation. It comes from a place of joy and fulfillment rather than struggle and lack. You see, when you truly embody the state of the wish fulfilled, when you live as the champion you aspire to be, work becomes play. Effort becomes joyful expression. You are not working towards something, you are working from the state of already having achieved it. This is a subtle but crucial distinction. The champion does not work hard to become successful. They work joyfully because they are already successful in their consciousness. The outer work is merely an expression of their inner state. So yes, take action. Work diligently, but do so from a place of fullness, not lack. Do so as an expression of who you are, not as a means to become something you're not. Let us now explore another powerful tool that champions use to make things happen. The power of words. Your words are not mere sounds. They are creative forces. They're expressions of your consciousness and have the power to shape your reality. Champions understand this. They are mindful of their speech, knowing that every word they utter is a declaration to the universe. They speak as though their desires are already fulfilled. They use the language of assumption, not of hope or wish. Instead of saying, I hope to achieve this, they say, I am achieving this. Instead of I want to be successful, they say, I am successful. This is not self-deception or positive affirmation. It is a deliberate use of language to align their outer expression with their inner assumption. Practice this in your own life. Begin to speak as though your desires are already realized. Feel the truth of your words as you speak them. Let your speech be a constant affirmation of the state you have assumed. Now let us address a common obstacle that many face on their journey to becoming champions: the opinions and judgments of others. The world is full of people who will tell you what you can and cannot do, what is possible and what is impossible. But remember this: their opinions are based on their assumptions, their beliefs, their limitations. They have no power over you unless you give it to them. The champion understands this. They know that the only opinion that truly matters is their own. They do not seek validation from others, for they find it within themselves. They do not allow the doubts and fears of others to shake their own conviction. This does not mean that champions ignore all advice or feedback, but they filter it through their own inner knowing. So, stand firm in your assumptions. Do not let the limiting beliefs of others become your own. For you are the operant power in your life, and no one else's opinion can override the power of your own assumption. Let us now explore the role of gratitude in the champion's journey. Gratitude is not merely a virtue. It is a powerful creative force. When you are truly grateful, you are in a state of receptivity. You are open to receiving more of what you appreciate. Champions cultivate an attitude of gratitude not just for what they have already achieved, but for what they are in the process of achieving. They give thanks for their desires as though they are already fulfilled. This gratitude is not a mere intellectual exercise. It is a deep, heartfelt appreciation that permeates their entire being. They feel grateful not just for outer circumstances, but for the very life that flows through them, for the infinite potential that resides within them. Practice this in your own life. Begin and end each day with gratitude. Give thanks for your desires as though they are already fulfilled. Feel the joy and appreciation of having what you desire. This attitude of gratitude will open you up to receive more of what you appreciate. Now, let us address a crucial aspect of the champion's mindset: the understanding of failure. In the world of form, what appears as failure is often a necessary step towards success. But the champion sees beyond appearances. To the champion, there's no such thing as failure. There are only results, only feedback. Every apparent setback is seen as valuable information guiding them towards their ultimate success. You see, when you live in the end, when you assume the state of the wish fulfilled, even an apparent failures are seen as part of the bridge of incidents leading to your desire's fulfillment. They are not obstacles, but necessary steps on your path. So, release your fear of failure. Embrace every experience, whether it appears positive or negative, as a valuable part of your journey. For in truth, there are no mistakes, only lessons. There are no failures, only opportunities for growth. Let us now explore the power of decision in the champion's journey. A true decision is a turning point in consciousness. It is not merely a mental agreement, but a wholehearted commitment to a new state of being. Champions understand the power of decision. When they decide to achieve something, they do so with their whole being. They cut off all possibility of retreat. They burn their bridges, so to speak, leaving themselves no option but to move forward. This kind of decision has immense power. It aligns all aspects of your being, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, towards your desired end. It creates a sense of inevitability about your success. So, make your decisions with this level of commitment. When you decide to achieve something, do so with your whole heart. Feel the weight of your decision, the finality of it. Let it be a true turning point in your consciousness. Now, let's address the role of patience in the champion's journey. Patience in this context is not passive waiting. It is active trust in the law of assumption. It is the calm knowing that what you have assumed in consciousness must inevitably express itself in your world. Champions cultivate this kind of patience. They do not anxiously await results, for they know that anxiety implies doubt. Instead, they rest in the certainty of their assumption, knowing that the seed they have planted in consciousness must, in due time, bear fruit in the world of form. This patience allows them to persist in their assumption without strain or struggle. It allows them to maintain their desired state, even when outer circumstances seem to contradict it. Cultivate this patience in your own life. Trust in the law of assumption. Know that what you have assumed as true in consciousness must inevitably express itself in your world. Rest in this knowing, even as you continue to live from your desired state. Let us now explore the power of revision in the champion's journey. Revision is not merely about changing your perception of past events. It is about consciously rewriting your personal history to align with your desired state. Champions use revision not to dwell on the past, but to create a past that supports their desired future. They understand that memory is not fixed, but fluid. It can be consciously reshaped to support their assumptions. When faced with memories that contradict their desired state, they revise them. They reimagine past events in a way that aligns with their new self-concept. In doing so, they remove mental barriers to their success and create a supportive foundation for their desired future. Practice revision in your own life. When memories arise that contradict your desired state, consciously revise them. Reimagine them in a way that supports your new self-concept. Do this not to escape reality, but to align your entire being, past, present, and future. Now, Let us address the importance of self-love in the champion's journey. True self-love is not egotism or narcissism. It is a deep appreciation and acceptance of your true self, the divine essence within you. Champions cultivate this kind of self-love. They understand that they are worthy of their desire simply because they exist. They do not need to prove their worth or earn their good. They know that they are already complete, already whole. His self-love allows them to pursue their desires from a place of fullness, not lack. It allows them to give freely, to serve others, to make a positive impact on the world. For when you truly love yourself, you naturally want to express that love in the world. Cultivate this self-love in your own life. Appreciate your unique gifts, your inherent worth. Know that you are worthy of your desires simply because you exist. Let this self-love be the foundation from which you pursue your goals and serve others. Let us now explore the power of stillness in the champion's journey. In a world that often equates busyness with productivity, champions understand the power of conscious stillness. This stillness is not inactivity. It is a state of heightened awareness, of deep connection with your inner being. It is in this stillness that you can most clearly hear the voice of your inner champion, that you can most powerfully impress your desires upon your subconscious. Champions regularly enter this state of stillness. They use techniques like meditation, contemplation, or simply being present in the moment. In this stillness, they connect with their true self. They clarify their vision, they strengthen their assumptions. Practice entering this state of stillness in your own life. Take time each day to be still, to connect with your inner being. Use this time to impress your desires upon your subconscious mind, to strengthen your assumption of the wish fulfilled. His practice of stillness will not only enhance your ability to manifest your desires, but will also bring a sense of peace and clarity to all aspects of your life. In conclusion, my dear friends, remember that the champion we speak of is not some external figure of greatness, but the divine essence that resides within you. By mastering the art of living in the end, by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, by speaking and acting from the state of your desires realization, you tap into the infinite power of your own consciousness. This is how champions find a way to make it happen. Not through struggle or force, but through the conscious direction of their own imagination and assumption. As you leave here today, I urge you to embrace your inner champion. Live from the state of your wishes fulfilled. Persist in your assumptions and watch as the world around you transforms to match your inner state. For you are the operant power in your life, and through the power of your consciousness, all things are possible. Go forth and make it happen, for you are, in truth, the champion you seek to become. My dear friends, we shall explore the profound truth of how to force yourself to stay disciplined, consistent, and strong. But first, let us understand that this force we speak of is not an external power, but the very essence of your divine nature. Imagine, if you will, that you are already the person you wish to be, disciplined, consistent, and strong. Feel it, know it, and live in that state now. For in truth, that version of you already exists in the realm of infinite possibilities. Your task is not to become something you're not, but to realize and embody what you truly are. Now let us delve deeper into the nature of discipline. Discipline is not a harsh taskmaster that stands over you with a whip, forcing you to act against your will. No, true discipline is the joyous expression of your higher self. It is the natural state of being when you are aligned with your divine purpose. To force yourself to stay disciplined is to constantly remind yourself of your true nature. It is to live from the end, to embody the state of the person you wish to be. When you wake in the morning, do not arise as the person you were yesterday, burdened by past failures and inconsistencies. Instead, wake as the disciplined being you truly are. Feel it in every fiber of your being. Let every action, every thought, every breath be an expression of this disciplined self. Remember, my dear friends, that your imagination is the God-given power through which you create your reality. Use this power wisely. Imagine yourself moving through your day with unwavering discipline. See yourself making choices that align with your highest good effortlessly resisting temptations that would lead you astray. Live in this imaginal act until it becomes your new normal, your new reality. Now let us turn our attention to consistency. Consistency is the bridge between your current state and your desired state. It is through consistent action, consistent thought, and consistent feeling that you bring your desires into manifestation. But consistency is not about forcing yourself to repeat actions you despise. No, true consistency flows naturally when you're living in the state of your wish fulfilled. To force yourself to stay consistent, you must first change your concept of self. See yourself as a being of unwavering consistency. Feel the satisfaction of following through on your commitments day after day. Revel in the joy of steady progress towards your goals. Live in this state, and you will find that consistency becomes effortless. Understand that every moment is a new opportunity to choose who you want to be. In each instant, you have the power to align yourself with the version of you that is disciplined and consistent. Do not be discouraged by past inconsistencies. They hold no power over you unless you give them power through your attention and belief. Let us now explore the nature of strength. Strength is not merely physical prowess or mental fortitude. True strength is the unshakable knowing of your divine nature. It is the calm assurance that you are one with the infinite power that creates world. To force yourself to stay strong is to constantly return to this knowing. When faced with challenges or setbacks, do not identify with the temporary appearance of weakness. Instead, claim your true identity as a being of infinite strength. Feel it coursing through you. Know that you have within you the power to overcome any obstacle, to rise above any circumstance. Imagine yourself standing firm in the face of adversity, unmoved by the storms of life. See yourself as a beacon of strength, inspiring others through your unwavering resolve. Live in this state and you will find that strength becomes your natural way of being. Now, my dear friends, let us understand that these three qualities, discipline, consistency, and strength, are not separate entities to be pursued individually. They are interconnected aspects of your divine nature, flowing one into the other in a beautiful dance of being. As you embody discipline, you naturally become more consistent. As you maintain consistency, your strength grows. And as you stand in your strength, discipline becomes effortless. This is the glorious cycle of self-realization and manifestation. But how? You may ask, do we maintain this state in the face of a world that seems to constantly challenge our resolve? The answer lies in your power of assumption. Assume the state of the person you wish to be. Feel it, live it, breathe it. Let every thought, every word, every action spring from this assumed state. When you find yourself slipping from this state, do not judge or condemn yourself. Simply recognize it as an opportunity to once again choose who you want to be. In that moment, recall the feeling of being disciplined, consistent, and strong. Step back into that state with joy and gratitude. Remember, the outer world is but a reflection of your inner state. If you find yourself struggling to maintain discipline, consistency, and strength, look not to external circumstances for the cause. Look within. What beliefs are you holding that do not align with your desired state? What concept of self are you clinging to that does not serve your highest good? Change these inner conditions and you will see a corresponding change in your outer world. For as within, so without. As above, so below. This is the law of your being, the principle upon which all creation rests. Now, let us speak of the seeming effort involved in forcing yourself to stay disciplined, consistent, and strong. Understand that this force is not a violence against your nature, but a loving redirection of your energy. It is the gentle but firm hand that guides you back to your true self when you have momentarily forgotten who you are. This force is love in action. It is the love you have for your highest self, the love that compels you to live up to your divine potential. When you force yourself to stay disciplined, you are choosing love over complacency. When you force yourself to stay consistent, you are choosing love over momentary pleasure. When you force yourself to stay strong, You are choosing love over fear. Embrace this force. Welcome it as a dear friend, a trusted guide on your journey of self-realization. For in truth, it is not something outside of you forcing you to be something you are not. It is your true self calling you home, urging you to claim your divine birthright. As you walk this path, you may encounter moments of doubt. You may question whether you have what it takes to maintain this state of discipline, consistency, and strength. In these moments, I urge you to return to the fundamental truth of your being. You are not a limited mortal creature struggling to become something greater. You are an infinite, divine being, temporarily playing the role of a limited mortal. Your task is not to become disciplined, consistent, and strong. Your task is to remember that you already are these things in your true nature. The force you use is not to create something new, but to strip away the false beliefs and limitations that obscure your true self. Imagine, if you will, a sculpture hidden within a block of marble. The sculptor does not create the statue. He simply removes the excess marble to reveal the masterpiece that was always there. In the same way, you are not creating a disciplined, consistent, and strong version of yourself. You are simply removing the thoughts, beliefs, and habits that hide your true nature. This process of revealing your true self requires patience and persistence. Do not be discouraged if you do not see immediate results in your outer world. Remember, the outer must conform to the inner, but it often does so in its own time and in its own way. Your job is to maintain the inner state, to live from the end, to be the person you wish to be now, in your imagination. As you do this, you set in motion the forces that will bring about the corresponding changes in your life. Let us now explore how this principle of forcing yourself to stay disciplined, consistent, and strong applies to various aspects of your life. In your relationships, for example, imagine yourself as a person who consistently shows up with love, patience, and understanding. Feel the joy of being a rock of stability for your loved ones. Live in this state and watch as your relationships transform. In your career, see yourself as a paragon of discipline and strength. Imagine moving through your workday with focus and determination, consistently producing excellent results. Feel the satisfaction of being known as someone who can always be relied upon. As you live in this state, you will find opportunities for growth and advancement naturally coming your way. In your health and fitness journey, embody the state of someone who makes consistently healthy choices. Feel the strength and vitality coursing through your body. Experience the discipline of choosing nourishing foods and engaging in regular exercise. As you maintain this state, you will find your outer appearance and energy levels naturally aligning with your inner vision. In your spiritual practice, see yourself as a being of unwavering devotion. Feel the strength of your connection to the divine. Experience the consistency of your daily spiritual rituals. As you live in this state, you will find your awareness expanding, your intuition sharpening, and your sense of oneness with all of life deepening. Remember, in all these areas and more, you are not working to create something new. You are simply aligning yourself with the truth of your being, allowing your outer world to reflect your inner state. Now, my dear friends, let us address a common misconception. Some may believe that forcing oneself to stay disciplined, consistent, and strong is a joyless, burdensome task. Nothing could be further from the truth. When you are living in alignment with your true nature, when you are expressing your highest self, there's no greater joy, no deeper satisfaction. The force we speak of is not the gritting of teeth or the clenching of fists. It is the gentle but firm redirection of your attention and energy towards that which serves your highest good. It is the loving choice to honor your divine nature in each moment. Consider the river flowing towards the ocean. The river does not struggle or strain. It simply flows, naturally following the path of least resistance. Yet in its flowing, it shapes mountains, carves valleys, and brings life to all it touches. This is the nature of the force we speak of. Effortless yet powerful, gentle yet transformative. As you force yourself to stay disciplined, consistent, and strong, you are like this river, You are not fighting against your nature, but flowing in harmony with it. You are not creating discipline, consistency, and strength, but allowing these qualities to express themselves through you. Let us now delve deeper into the practice of living from this state. Begin each day by immersing yourself in the feeling of being disciplined, consistent, and strong. Before you open your eyes in the morning, feel the satisfaction of knowing that you are a person who follows through on commitments. Feel the strength that comes from knowing you can handle any challenge that comes your way. Feel the peace that comes from consistent alignment with your highest self. As you move through your day, continually return to this state. When faced with a choice, ask yourself, what would the disciplined, consistent, and strong version of me do in this situation? Then act from that state. Do not simply imagine it. Embody it fully. Remember, my friends, that your outer world is a reflection of your inner state. If you find yourself struggling to maintain discipline, consistency, and strength in your actions, look to your inner world. What thoughts are you entertaining? What emotions are you indulging in? What state are you assuming? Change your inner state, and your outer world must change to match it. This is the law of your being, as sure and unchanging as the law of gravity. Just as an apple must fall when released from your hand, so must your outer circumstances align with your inner state. Now let us address the challenges you may face on this journey. There may be times when you feel you have fallen short, when you have acted in ways that do not align with the disciplined, consistent, and strong version of yourself. In these moments, remember that you are not defined by your actions, but by the state you choose to occupy. Do not dwell on the apparent failure. Do not give it power by reliving it in your imagination. Instead, immediately return to the state of being disciplined, consistent, and strong. Feel it, know it, live it. For in truth, there's no failure unless you accept it as such in your consciousness. Every moment is a new opportunity to choose who you want to be. The past has no power over you except that which you give it through your attention and belief. Choose now to be the person you wish to be, regardless of what has gone before. As you practice living from this state, you may find that certain habits or patterns in your life no longer serve you. You may feel compelled to make changes in your diet, your daily routine, your relationships, or your work. Welcome these changes. They are the natural result. Remember, as you elevate your state of being, that which does not align with your new state must fall away. This is not a loss, but a clearing away of that which no longer serves your highest good. Embrace it with gratitude, knowing that you are making room for that which aligns with your true self. Now let us explore the ripple effects of maintaining this state of discipline, consistency, and strength. As you embody these qualities, you become a living example to those around you. Without a word, you inspire others to rise to their own highest potential. Your relationships improve as others come to see you as a pillar of strength and reliability. Your work life transforms as you consistently produce excellent results. Your health flourishes as you make consistently healthy choices. Your spiritual life deepens as you maintain a consistent practice. But beyond these outer changes, there's a profound inner transformation taking place. As you force yourself to stay disciplined, consistent, and strong, you are constantly reaffirming your true identity. You are choosing, moment by moment, to align with your highest self. This constant choice, this ongoing affirmation of your true nature, is the essence of spiritual growth. It is the process by which you shed the limitations of the ego and step into the fullness of your divine being. Understand, my dear friends, that this journey is not about becoming something you are not. It is about remembering and embodying who you truly are. The discipline, consistency, and strength we speak of are not qualities to be acquired, but aspects of your divine nature to be expressed. As you walk this path, you may encounter resistance from within. Old habits, limiting beliefs, and fear-based thoughts may arise to challenge your new state. Welcome these challenges. They are opportunities to reaffirm your choice, to strengthen your resolve, to deepen your embodiment of your true self. When these challenges arise, do not fight against them. Do not give them power by engaging in mental battle. Instead, simply return your attention to the state of being disciplined, consistent, and strong. Feel it, live it, be it. The challenges will dissolve in the light of your chosen state, like shadows fleeing before the rising sun. Remember, my friends, that you are not alone on this journey. You are supported by the very fabric of the universe, by the infinite intelligence that flows through all things. This intelligence responds to your state of being, bringing into your experience that which aligns with your chosen state. As you force yourself to stay disciplined, consistent, and strong, you are sending out a clear signal to the universe. You are declaring through your state of being, this is who I am. And the universe, in its infinite wisdom and love, responds by reflecting back to you experiences that match your declaration. This is the true meaning of ask, and it shall be given unto you. Your state of being is your ask, and the universe cannot help but give you experiences that match that state. It is the law of your being, as certain as the rising and setting of the sun. So, my dear friends, I urge you to embrace this practice with all your heart. Force yourself to stay disciplined, consistent, and strong, not as a burden, but as a joyous expression of your true nature. Live from this state not occasionally, but constantly. Let it become your new normal. As you do this, you will find that life begins to flow with an ease and grace you may have never known before. Opportunities will arise that align perfectly with your goals and desires. Challenges will become stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. You will move through life with a sense of purpose and power that comes from knowing and embodying your true self. Remember, the key to this transformation lies not in your actions, but in your state of being. Your actions will naturally align with your state. So focus not on doing, but on being. Be the disciplined, consistent, and strong version of yourself now in your imagination. Feel it, live it, breathe it. Let every thought, every word, every action spring from this state. And as you do this, watch and wonder as your outer world transforms to match your inner state. For this is the true magic of life, the miracle of consciousness in action. You are the operant power in your world, the creator of your reality. Use this power wisely. Use it lovingly. Use it for the highest good of all. In closing, my dear friends, I remind you once again of the truth of your being. You are not a limited mortal struggling to become something greater. You are an infinite, divine being temporarily playing the role of a limited mortal. The discipline, consistency, and strength we speak of are not qualities to be acquired, but aspects of your true nature to be expressed. So go forth with joy and confidence. Force yourself to stay disciplined, consistent, and strong, not as a burden, but as a celebration of who you truly are. Live from this state and watch as miracles unfold in your life. For in truth, the greatest miracle is the transformation of your own consciousness, the realization and expression of your divine nature. Remember, the world is you pushed out. As you transform your inner world, your outer world must transform to match it. This is the law of your being, the principle upon which all creation rests. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, and watch as your life becomes a living testament to the power of consciousness in action. You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. You have within you the power to shape your reality according to your highest vision. Use this power. Embrace it. Live from it. For in doing so, you not only transform your own life, but you contribute to the transformation of the entire world. As you force yourself to stay disciplined, consistent, and strong, you become a beacon of light in a world that often seems shrouded in darkness. Your very being becomes a reminder to others of their own divine potential. Without uttering a word, you inspire those around you to rise to their highest selves. Consider for a moment the impact of your transformation. As you embody discipline, consistency, and strength, you naturally inspire these qualities in others. Your children learn from your example. Your colleagues are motivated by your unwavering commitment. Your friends are uplifted by your steady presence. In this way, Your personal transformation becomes a catalyst for collective growth. But the impact of your transformation extends far beyond your immediate circle. As you align with your true nature, you contribute to the elevation of the collective consciousness. Each time you choose discipline over laziness, consistency over chaos, strength over weakness, you add your energy to the global shift towards higher awareness. Imagine, if you will, a vast ocean. Your individual consciousness is like a drop in this ocean. As you raise your vibration through the practice, we've discussed, you elevate out just your own drop, but you create ripples that affect the entire ocean. This is the profound responsibility and the glorious opportunity that lies before you. Now, my dear friends, I urge you to take this practice beyond the confines of this speech. Let it permeate every aspect of your life. When you wake in the morning, immediately assume the state of being disciplined, consistent, and strong. Feel it in every cell of your body. Let it inform your thoughts, your words, your actions throughout the day. When faced with a challenge, do not shrink back into old patterns of thought and behavior. Instead, ask yourself, how would the disciplined, consistent, and strong version of me handle this situation? Then, act from that state. Be that person now in your imagination. Remember, the outer world may not change overnight. There may be a time lag between your inner shift and its outer manifestation. Do not be discouraged by this. Maintain your faith. Hold steady in your new state of being, for as surely as night follows day, your outer world must conform to your inner state. In moments of doubt or weakness, when you feel tempted to fall back into old patterns, recall this truth. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not your circumstances. You are the awareness behind all these things. You are the chooser of your state of being. In every moment, you have the power to choose again, to realign with your highest self. Let this knowing be your anchor in stormy seas. Let it be the bedrock upon which you build your new life. For in truth, there is no force in the universe that can override your choice of state. You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. As we draw this speech to a close, I want you to take a moment to fully embody the state we've been discussing. Close your eyes if you wish and feel what it's like to be truly disciplined, consistent, and strong. Feel the calm certainty that comes from knowing you can rely on yourself. Feel the quiet strength that flows through you. Feel the peace that comes from consistent alignment with your highest self. This, my dear friends, is your true nature. This is who you really are beneath the surface appearance of limitation and struggle. Claim this state now. Embrace it fully. Let it become your new normal. And as you go forth from this place, carry this state with you. Let it inform every thought, every word, every action. Let it be the lens through which you view the world and yourself. For as you do this, you set in motion forces beyond your imagining. You align yourself with the creative power of the universe itself. Remember, the practice of forcing yourself to stay disciplined, consistent, and strong is not about struggle or strain. It is about aligning with your true nature, about expressing the divine perfection that already exists within you. It is a joyous affirmation of who you really are. So go forth with confidence and joy. Embrace this practice with all your heart, for in doing so, you not only transform your own life, but you contribute to the transformation of the entire world. You become a living example of the power of consciousness in action, a beacon of light in a world hungry for inspiration. My dear friends, you stand at the threshold of a new life, a life of power, purpose, and infinite possibility. The key to this new life lies not in some distant future, but in the choices you make right now, in this very moment. Choose wisely. Choose lovingly. Choose to be the highest version of yourself. For in this choice lies the secret of all creation, the mystery of life itself. You are the author of your own story, the creator of your own reality. Write a story of discipline, consistency, and strength. Create a reality that reflects your highest vision of yourself in the world. And as you do this, know that you are fulfilling your divine purpose. You are expressing the infinite potential that lies within you. You are becoming who you truly are. I say to you one fine man, Force yourself to stay disciplined, consistent, and strong. Not as a burden, but as a joyous expression of your true nature. Not as a struggle against yourself, but as a loving affirmation of who you really are. Do this, and watch as miracles unfold in your life. Do this and become the living embodiment of your highest potential. Do this and transform not only your own life, but the very world around you. The power is yours. The choice is yours. The time is now. Thank you, my dear friends. Go forth and create the life you've always dreamed of. For in truth, that life is already within you, waiting to be expressed. Express it now with all the discipline, consistency, and strength of your divine nature. My dear friends, tonight we gather to discuss a topic of utmost importance: the art of rebuilding and reorganizing yourself. This is not merely a guide to fixing your life. It is a profound journey into the very essence of your being. A journey that will reveal to you the immense power that lies dormant within you. Let us begin by understanding a fundamental truth. Your outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner state of consciousness. Everything you see, everything you experience, is a manifestation of your own thoughts and beliefs. This may seem a startling concept at first, but I assure you, it is the key to unlocking the life you truly desire. You see, most of us go through life believing that we are at the mercy of external circumstances. We think that our happiness, our success, our very well-being depends on things outside of ourselves. But I tell you now, this is the greatest illusion, the most profound misconception that keeps us bound to a life of limitation and unfulfillment. The truth, my dear friends, is that you are the operant power in your life. You are the God of your universe. This is not blasphemy, nor is it mere positive thinking. It is a scientific fact, rooted in the very nature of consciousness itself. For what is God but pure consciousness? The awareness that underlies all of existence. And are you not conscious? Are you not aware? Then you too are that same consciousness, individualized in human form. Now I know that for many of you, this concept may seem too grand, too lofty to accept. You may look at your current circumstances, at the challenges and struggles in your life, and think, how can this be true? How can I be the creator of my reality when my reality seems so far from what I desire? But I implore you to set aside your doubts for a moment and consider this. Every great change, every monumental shift in human history began with a change in consciousness. Think of the great inventors, the revolutionary thinkers, the pioneers of human progress. Did they not first imagine in their minds the reality they wished to create? Did they not hold fast to their vision even in the face of a world that told them it was impossible? This, my friends, is the power of imagination. And it is the same power that you possess right now, in this very moment. But how do we harness this power? How do we rebuild and reorganize ourselves in a way that aligns with our deepest desires? The answer lies in understanding the law of assumption. This law states that if you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, if you live from the end as though your desire were already a reality, then that reality must manifest in your outer world. This is not wishful thinking or blind optimism. It is a principle as immutable as the law of gravity. Just as an apple must fall when released from your hand, so too must your outer world conform to your inner assumptions. The key is to make these assumptions so vivid, so real in your imagination, that they become more solid to you than the physical reality around you. Let me give you a practical example. Suppose you wish to rebuild your financial life. You may currently be in a state of lack, struggling to make ends meet. The natural tendency is to focus on this lack, to constantly worry about bills and expenses. But I tell you now, this focus only perpetuates your current state. Instead, you must assume the feeling of financial abundance. You must live in your imagination as though you already possessed all the wealth you desire. How would you feel if you were financially secure? How would you carry yourself? What thoughts would occupy your mind? These are not idle questions, my friends. They are the very keys to your transformation. For when you can answer these questions, when you can feel the reality of your desired state so vividly that it becomes more real to you than your present circumstances, then you have set in motion the forces that will reshape your outer world. But remember, this is not about daydreaming or escaping reality. It is about consciously choosing the state you wish to embody, and then living from that state with unwavering faith. It is about knowing with absolute certainty that what you have imagined must come to pass, because in the realm of pure consciousness, it has already happened. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, how can I possibly feel wealthy when my bank account is empty? How can I feel successful when I've just lost my job? And to this, I say, your outer circumstances are nothing more than shadows, reflections of past assumptions. They have no power over you unless you give them power through your attention and belief. The secret is to withdraw your attention from the unwanted circumstances and instead focus all your mental energy on the state you wish to embody. This takes practice. It takes discipline. But I assure you, it is within your power. Start small if you must. Begin by assuming a slightly improved state, one that doesn't strain your credulity too much. As you see the outer world begin to shift in response to your inner changes, your faith will grow and you will be able to make bolder assumptions. Remember, the outside world has no choice but to reflect your inner state. It is not the cause of your experience. It is the effect. You are the cause through your assumptions and beliefs. This is why no amount of action in the outer world can bring about lasting change. If your inner state remains the same, you may temporarily improve your circumstances through hard work and struggle. But unless you change your core assumptions about yourself and your plump and your place in the world, you will invariably return to your habitual state. This is why so many people find themselves stuck in cycles of struggle and frustration. They work hard to change their outer circumstances, only to find themselves back where they started. They haven't understood that the outer world is not the source of their problems, but merely a reflection of their inner state. So how do we break the cycle? How do we truly rebuild and reorganize ourselves? The answer lies in what I call the law of revision. This law states that you can go back into your past, in your imagination, and change it. Now, I don't mean that you can literally alter past events. What you can change is your memory of those events, your interpretation of them, and most importantly, the meaning you assign to them. You see, your past is not fixed. It is fluid, constantly being reinterpreted by your present state of consciousness. When you change your present state, you automatically change your perception of the past. And since your past beliefs and experiences form the foundation of your current reality, changing your interpretation of the past can have a profound effect on your present and future. Let me give you a practical exercise to demonstrate this principle. Tonight, before you go to sleep, review the events of your day. But instead of simply recalling what happened, revise any events that were less than perfect. If you had an argument with someone, replay the scene in your imagination. But this time, see it going perfectly. Feel the harmony, the understanding, the love between you and the other person. If you faced a challenge at work, revise it. See yourself handling the situation with ease and confidence. Feel the satisfaction of a job well done. If you received news that upset you, revise it. Imagine receiving news that delights you, that confirms your highest aspirations. Do this consistently, night after night, and you will begin to see changes in your outer world. People will begin to treat you differently. Opportunities will appear where before there seemed to be only obstacles. You will find yourself naturally gravitating towards the fulfillment of your desires. This practice of revision is not about denying reality or escaping into fantasy. It is about consciously choosing the version of reality you wish to experience. This is about exercising your God-given power to select the contents of your consciousness, knowing that your consciousness is the very substance from which your world is formed. Now let us delve deeper into the process of rebuilding yourself. To truly transform your life, you must first identify the core assumptions that have shaped your current reality. These assumptions often operate below the level of conscious awareness, influencing your thoughts, feelings, and actions without you even realizing it. To uncover these hidden assumptions, pay close attention to your habitual thoughts and emotional reactions. What do you find yourself saying or thinking repeatedly? What situations trigger strong emotional responses in you? These patterns can provide valuable clues about your underlying beliefs. Once you've identified these core assumptions, the next step is to consciously choose new assumptions that align with the life you wish to create. This is where the power of imagination comes into play. You must create vivid, detailed mental images of yourself living from these new assumptions. For example, if you've identified a core assumption that life is a struggle, you might choose to replace it with life is a joyful adventure. But it's not enough to simply repeat this new phrase to yourself. You must feel it, live it, embody it in your imagination. See yourself moving through life with ease and enthusiasm. Feel the excitement of new opportunities. Experience the joy of effortless accomplishment. As you practice this, you may encounter resistance from your old patterns of thinking. This is natural and to be expected. Your current reality, with all its limitations and struggles, is deeply familiar to you. It may even feel safe, in a perverse way, simply because it's known. But remember, this resistance is nothing more than the dying gasp of your old self. It has no power over you unless you give it power through your attention and belief. The key is to persist in your new assumption, regardless of any apparent contradictions in your outer world. This persistence is what I call the faith of God. It is an unshakable knowing that what you have imagined must come to pass, because in the realm of pure consciousness, it has already happened. Now let us turn our attention to the process of reorganizing yourself. This involves aligning all aspects of your being, your thoughts, emotions, actions, and even your physical body with your new assumptions. It's about creating a new self-concept, a new identity that is in harmony. Now, start by examining your daily habits and routines. Are they supporting your new assumptions? Or are they reinforcing your old patterns? Remember, every action you take, every word you speak, every thought you think is either moving you towards your desired state or away from it. There's no neutral ground. For instance, if you're rebuilding yourself as a successful entrepreneur, do your daily habits reflect this new identity? Do you start your day with purposeful planning and positive affirmations? Or do you immediately check your phone and get lost in social media? Do you dress and carry yourself as a successful business person would? Or do you slouch around in old, worn-out clothes? These may seem like small details, but they're crucial. Your subconscious mind is always watching, always recording. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you believe yourself to be. Make sure your actions are voting for your desired self, not your old limiting self. This process of reorganization also extends to your environment. Look around you. Does your physical space reflect the person you're becoming? Or is it cluttered with remnants of your old self? Clear out anything that doesn't align with your new identity. Create an environment that supports and nurtures your growth. This might mean decluttering your home, rearranging your workspace, or even changing the people you spend time with. Remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Surround yourself with individuals who inspire you, who challenge you to grow, who believe in your potential even when you doubt yourself. Now, I want to address a common misconception about this process of rebuilding and reorganizing yourself. Many people believe that it requires constant struggle, that they must force themselves to think positive thoughts and take massive action. But I tell you now, this approach is not only unnecessary, it can actually be counterproductive. True transformation doesn't come from forcing yourself to be something you're not. It comes from aligning yourself with who you truly are at your core, a being of infinite potential, an individualized expression of God. When you tap into this truth, when you live from this awareness, the process of change becomes effortless. It becomes a joyful unfolding, a natural expression of your true self. This is why I emphasize the importance of feeling. It's not enough to intellectually understand these principles. You must feel them, embody them, live them. For it is your feeling your emotional state, that is the true prayer. It is the language that your subconscious mind understands. And it is through your subconscious that you connect with the infinite power of the universe. So how do you cultivate these feelings? How do you generate the emotional state of your wish fulfilled? The answer lies in the power of your imagination. Your imagination is not some frivolous faculty for daydreaming. It is the very workshop in which your life is crafted. When you imagine, you are literally creating reality. Not in some metaphorical sense, but in a very real, tangible way. The images you hold in your mind, infused with feeling, become the blueprint from which your outer world is constructed. This is why it's crucial to make your imaginal acts as vivid and as real as possible. Let me give you a practical exercise to demonstrate this principle. Choose a desire, something you wish to manifest in your life. Now close your eyes and create a scene that implies the fulfillment of this desire. Make it as real and as vivid as possible. See the colors, hear the sounds, feel the textures. Most importantly, feel the emotion of having your desire fulfilled. For example, if your desire is for a loving relationship, you might imagine yourself lying in bed next to your perfect partner, feeling the warmth of their body, hearing their steady breathing, feeling the deep sense of love and contentment that comes from this perfect union. If your desire is for financial abundance, you might imagine yourself looking at your bank statement, seeing a balance that far exceeds your wildest dreams. Feel the sense of security, the feeling of freedom that comes with this abundance. The key is to make this imaginal act so real, so vivid, that it feels more real to you than your current circumstances. When you can do this, when you can live in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, despite any contradictory evidence in your outer world, then you have mastered the art of conscious creation. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, I've tried visualization before and it didn't work. To this I say, persistence is key. You must return to your imaginal act again and again, dwelling in the feeling of your wish fulfilled until it becomes your dominant state. Remember, your outer world is nothing more than a delayed reflection of your inner state. Just as it takes time for a ship to change course, so too does it take time for your outer world to reflect your new inner state. But make no mistake, change it must. For this is the law of your being. This brings us to another crucial aspect of rebuilding and reorganizing yourselves. Patience. In our instant gratification culture, we've been conditioned to expect immediate results. But true transformation, lasting change takes time. It requires faith and persistence. You must be willing to hold fast to your new assumption to live from your desired state, even when your senses deny it. This is the true test of faith. Anyone can believe in the visible, but it takes a truly awakened individual to believe in the invisible, to trust in the unseen reality of their imagination. When you, the beautiful paradox, when you can truly live in the end, when you can feel the reality of your desire so vividly that you no longer yearn for it because you know it's already yours, that's when it manifests most quickly in your outer world. It's when you let go of the anxiety, the doubt, the constant checking for results, that your desire can flow into your experience unimpeded. This is why it's so important to enjoy the process of transformation. Don't see it as a chore, as something you have to do to fix your broken life. See it as a joyful adventure, an exploration of your own infinite potential. For in truth, that's exactly what it is. As you embark on this journey of rebuilding and reorganizing yourself, you may find that your desires begin to change. Things that once seemed so important may lose their appeal. New aspirations may arise, ones that align more closely with your true self. This is a natural part of the process. As you shed your old, limiting beliefs and align yourself with your true nature, your desires naturally evolve. You begin to want things not from a place of lack or fear, but from a place of abundance and love. This is why it's crucial to remain flexible, to be open to the wisdom of your higher self. Sometimes what we think we want is not what we truly desire at our core. Our surface desires are often shaped by societal expectations, past conditioning, or a misguided attempt to fill an inner void. But as you continue this practice of living from the end, of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you begin to tap into your true desires. You begin to align with your life's purpose, with the unique gift that only you can bring to the world. This alignment is the true goal of rebuilding and reorganizing yourself. It's not about accumulating more possessions or achieving arbitrary milestones. It's about becoming the fullest, most authentic expression of who you truly are. As you do this, you'll find that your life takes on a new quality. Synchronicities become commonplace. Opportunities seem to fall into your lap. People are drawn to you, eager to help you on your journey. This is because you're no longer swimming against the current of life, but flowing with it, aligned with the creative power of the universe. And I want to address a question that often arises when discussing these principles. What about other people? Can I use this to change someone else's behavior or to make someone love me? And to this I say, you cannot change others directly, but you change your conception of them. Remember, everyone in your world is you pushed out. They're playing the role that your assumptions have assigned to them. If you want to change your relationships, you must change your assumptions about the people in your life. For instance, if you're struggling with a difficult coworker, instead of focusing on their negative behavior, imagine them as helpful and cooperative. Feel the relief and appreciation of having such a wonderful colleague. Do this consistently, and you will be amazed at how their behavior towards you begins to shift. This is not about controlling others, but about aligning your inner world in a way that naturally evokes the best in those around you. As we near the end of our discussion, I want to emphasize a crucial point. This work of rebuilding and reorganizing yourself is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing process, a lifelong journey of self-discovery and growth. There will be times when you falter, when you slip back into old patterns of thinking and being. This is natural and to be expected. The key is not to berate yourself for these lapses, but to gently and persistently return to your desired state. Remember, you are not your thoughts, your emotions, or your circumstances. You are the awareness behind all of these things. You are pure consciousness, unlimited and eternal. This is your true identity, and it is from this place of awareness that you have the power to choose your state of being. No matter what is happening in your outer world, you always have the freedom to choose your inner state. In closing, I want to leave you this thought. The work you do on yourself is the most important work you will ever do. For as you transform yourself, you transform your world. Every shift in your consciousness ripples out into the universe, affecting not just your immediate circumstances, but the entire fabric of reality. You are far more powerful than you realize, and the life you dream of is not just possible, it is your birthright. So go forth with courage and faith. Dare to imagine the life you truly desire. Feel it, live it in your imagination, and know with unshakable certainty that it must manifest. For you are the operant power, the God of your universe, and all things are possible to you. Rebuild yourself, reorganize your life, and step into the grandest version of who you truly are. The world is waiting for you to claim your divine inheritance.